Hey guys, welcome back to my channel. Welcome back to another meal prep video. I am sitting here getting ready to edit my meal prep, so I thought I would just do a quick little intro. So for this week's video, I'm going to be sharing with you my egg salad, which I'm going to use a little trick that I found on Instagram on the Food Network little like Instagram page. Really interesting, so I'm going to show you a little trick for that. I'm going to do a chicken salad because for my lunches this week I plan on having egg salad sandwiches, chicken salad sandwiches. I also have some turkey lunch meat I'm going to use, just trying to use up things in my refrigerator and my cabinets. I'm going to be doing some ham and cheese egg bites that I'll be pairing with some protein waffles. I'm not making the protein waffles in this video because I'll just make those every morning, but I'm going to pair them with the egg bites. That would be a great, nice little high protein breakfast. I'm going to be prepping some veggies for meals, so I'm going to be having chicken fajitas this week, so I want to prep my peppers for that. I'm also going to prep my zoodles for my chicken Alfredo that I'll be having later in the week, and then also prepping some veggies for snacks. And then I was doing some kitchen organization, and that's when I found my zoodle maker, which I had no idea where my little zoodle tool was. And I also found my meal prep thing that I used to use that would cut everything up in little squares. I remember why I didn't like it very well. For one, it's really hard to clean with the little itty bitty squares. Secondly, it's loud. Like it makes this loud, like when you first press it down and it snaps, like it snaps the food in, it makes this loud snapping noise, which it drives me crazy. But it was much faster than chopping up all the peppers, and it's just evenly, chopped up. So really liked that. So I redid all of my cabinets this weekend. I just haven't, things just kind of got out of control like they always do. So I reorganized some stuff and just pulled out some tools I hadn't used in a while. And so I'm using that. I don't really have recipes for anything except for the egg bites. So I'm going to be making those actually in my Instant Pot. I don't know if I said that. So I will actually write that recipe out below in the description box, so you can check that out, because I don't really use anybody else's recipe for that. I just kind of threw it all together. But they turn out like the ones from Starbucks. They're kind of softer egg bites, but you can make them in the oven. So I will give you instructions also on making them in the oven in case you don't have an Instant Pot or the little mold thing to make the little egg muffins in. So that's everything. So let's go ahead and get into the video. As always, I am starting off with my veggie prep. So I have a ton of peppers, as you can see here. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to go ahead and chop up half of the peppers are going to be for my chicken fajitas I'll be having later in the week. The other half I'm just going to prep up to be able to throw into salads if I want to make an egg scramble, something like that. So just so I have some peppers on hand. So I know everybody cuts their peppers differently. I watch some really fancy ways that people cut peppers, and I've tried them and it just doesn't work. So I always cut the tops off and I slice those up, and those will be with my fajitas. And then I'm just going to cut my fajita ones up into strips. And then my other one I'm going to dice up. So like I said earlier, I was doing some organization in my kitchen, and I did come across my old chopper that I hadn't had in a long time. So I decided to pull that out for my peppers. And I used kind of the larger diced one because I like that one for peppers, because again, I like to put them into scrambles and things like that. And it worked out really well. So I have my nice evenly diced peppers. Yeah. Like I said, there are some things I don't like about this chopper. I think it came off of Amazon. I'm not sure. I can't remember. Maybe it was a gift. I don't remember exactly where I got it. With the white onions, I like to do the bigger chop because I do use that for recipes and whatnot. So this is a good alternative to the frozen ones I normally buy. Now for the red onion, I like to do the finer diced one. But man, this fine diced one is hard to clean. Oh my goodness. Onion peel always gets stuck in it. So that's definitely a disadvantage as well. And then I just cut my ones up in strips. I'll be using this again for my chicken fajitas. So I just have this ready to go. No excuse not to have a dinner on the table when I do all my prep ahead of time. I'm going to do some zoodles. One of my nights for dinner, I'm going to do chicken Alfredo, but I'm going to do half regular pasta and half zoodles just to kind of add those veggies in there. So I want to have the zoodles ready. And then I have some cucumbers that I just have for snacking and whatnot. But yep, found my zoodle maker as well. It was in the same box as my meal prep meal prep thingy. And then my green onions, which I love green onions, use them for everything. So I just want those to all be chopped up again for salads, and plus I'll be using them for some recipes here. So all of my veggies are all prepped and ready to go. Again, no excuse not to have a nice salad with lots of stuff, have some veggies to snack on, have my dinner prep ready to go, and it's just all ready. It makes dinner so much easier to come together. So if you do anything with meal prep, prep your veggies for your dinners. Highly recommend that. Next up, we're going to show a little trick that I found on the Food Network's Instagram page. So I'm just doing a little one, but you can use like a bigger cake pan. I didn't have a bigger cake pan, but this one worked out perfect. I'm just going to do 4 eggs because I'm just making this egg salad for myself. Now, if you're making a bigger batch, then I suggest if you can find a cake pan that fits in your Instant Pot or pressure cooker. Like I said, I did not have a cake pan. Like I had a round cake pan, but it had like ledges around the edge of it where it made it more oval shaped than round shaped. It was kind of weird. But I know you can find them like at Dollar Tree or something. So maybe get something like that. This is one that came with my air fryer. So it turned out really good. So I went and just sprayed my pan in there with a lot of cooking spray, added the 4 eggs. Now we're going to put it in my Instant Pot. I did put 2 cups of water in the bottom of it. And then I'm just going to put some foil on top because, as you guys know, you get a lot of condensation on the inside of your pressure cooker if you use these a lot. And it just, I don't want it like dripping down to my eggs. I feel like it'll make them kind of soggy. Now, I don't know if I said what we're doing with this is we're going to make one big egg loaf to make our egg salad, y'all. Like, this is such a great hack, and it turned out so well. So I cooked it for 6 minutes and let it pressure release for 6 minutes, and this is how it came out. Just turned it upside down, let it cool for a little bit because I didn't want to have to handle this. Another thing that I found when I was organizing my cupboards was my salad chopper. So I decided to see if this would work out, and it did. Also, if you like a pastry cutter, or you could just use a knife. I mean, either one. I just wanted to see if this salad cutter would work. But this is my salad chopper that I bought, like I was obsessed with for like 2 months, and then I obviously put it away and forgot about it. But I definitely put it within reach again because I forgot how much I loved this thing. So it's something I found on Amazon. I will try to remember to link it down below. And I'll also see if I can find a similar like meal prep chopper and also link that down below if I can't find the one I have. Like I said, I don't know if I highly recommend the one I have just because it's loud and kind of hard to clean, but they all may be that way. I don't really have anything to compare it to. But look how well this thing worked. Again, if you have like a pastry cutter, I think you could do that too. But look at this, you guys. No peeling the hard-boiled eggs. So if you're making like an egg salad, or maybe you're making like potato salad and you're putting some eggs inside there, anything you need hard-boiled eggs for besides like maybe deviled eggs, this works out perfect. So what I'm putting in my egg salad, I have my egg salad, I have my eggs. I'm going to put some yogurt, some spicy brown mustard, some dill relish. I'm going to use onions, of course. So I have the red and the green onions, or purple, whatever you call them. And then I'm using the Kinder's the blend, which is salt, pepper, garlic. And I don't really measure per se, but I did use about 2 tablespoons or so of the Greek yogurt, and then I just kind of squirted in the mustard, and then I just put everything else in there, mixed it up, and here you go. So I'll be having this with like crackers on a sandwich thin, something like that. We're going to be making those ham and cheese egg bites. So I used 8 egg whites, so it came out to a cup of egg whites. We're going to be using 2 tablespoons of plain non-fat Greek yogurt, 2 tablespoons of cottage cheese. We're going to be using a half of a cup of diced ham, half of a cup of cheese of your choice, and then I'm just going to throw in some green onions just because I love green onions. And then we'll be using the salt, pepper, garlic blend from Kinder's. So first up we want to do is blend up the egg whites with the cottage cheese and the plain Greek yogurt. You want to do this so that way it's nice and smooth. Not all recipes call for you to do it this way, but I don't know. For me, I feel like it comes up not nice and smooth, and you don't have that possibility of separation of the egg and the Greek yogurt, and you don't have the lumps from the cottage cheese. Although you guys know I love cottage cheese, so the lumps don't really bother me, but it might bother some people. But what this does is it makes that egg whites, makes them really creamy, makes that kind of base really kind of adds a creamy texture. So I'm just putting it in my little blender cup here. We're just going to give it a quick super blend until everything just is all nice incorporated, and you just have this white, like foamy, like mixture, which is perfect. Now I'm going to tell you a couple things that I should have done that I did not do. So one thing is we're mixing all this together. Next time I will definitely do the cheese and the ham separately. And I know this is how I've done it before, and I don't know, it's just been so long since I've made egg muffin cups. So definitely I would suggest that you do the eggs and the cheese and maybe even the green onions separately. Put those in the little cups separately rather than mix them all together. But it still worked out fine. It still worked out. So we have our half a cup of cheese, half a cup of ham, our green onions. We're going to put some of the seasoning on there. So what I would suggest, again, like if you end up doing it a separate way, then I would suggest putting the seasoning in with the eggs, because that's the part that's going to really need that seasoning, because you have really nice, salt from the ham and from the cheese itself, but the eggs, of course, are kind of bland. Now, I got this egg mold off of Amazon. I'm sure it's been so long since I've got it that I'm sure I got it off of Amazon. I will find a link down below. And it came with a little rack that's already in my Instant Pot because I used it when I made that egg loaf. Then you want to make sure you spray these really well because they will stick. Otherwise, because for me, like, eggs stick to everything. But these are made of silicone, but I still suggest that you spray them with some sort of cooking spray. So definitely highly recommend that. Now, this is where I'm telling you that I should have done it separately. What I would have done next time is I would have put the ham and the cheese in the bottom of the cups first, and then just poured the egg mixture on top. That's what I suggest you do, because as you can see here, look, I ended up with not having very much ham and cheese mixture in that first one. So in the second ones, what I tried to do was to put more of the egg and cheese in there and then just kind of poured the eggs on top. Now that we have this, this is how we're going to cook these. We're going to put some foil on top, and that's because, again, of that condensation from your lid. So you want to kind of put some foil on top of there. Now, I had to make myself a little foil, like, lift-out tray because I don't have one of those things where you can just lift your stuff out of your Instant Pot. So I I just kind of made myself a little, like, lifting thing out of a piece of foil, put that under there. So what we're going to do is put this on high pressure. So steam, if you have a steam setting, that would be good too. So I did mine on the steam setting for 8 minutes. And then we'll let it natural release for 10 minutes. So what that means is once your 8 minutes is over, then you let it sit there for 10 minutes and then you release the pressure. So at that point, you're going to check them. If they are not done all the way, then you want to put them back in there for 1 or 2 more minutes, again on that steam setting at high pressure. But mine came out perfect at the 8 minutes and then letting it set for 10 minutes. Every pressure cooker is different, so I do recommend that you just kind of just see how it looks. Now, I let mine sit there and let them cool for about 10 minutes, so this is like 10 minutes later. Then just put them upside down on my plate, and they just pop right out. Look how amazing these look. Now, let me give you guys a couple other little tips as well. Now, for mine, like I said, they came out perfect with 8 minutes, but if you do more add-ins, so say you add in spinach and you add in maybe some sun-dried tomatoes, the more add-ins you have, the longer that these will take to cook. So you may need to add a couple more minutes on there. Also, avoid using like wet items. So like tomatoes are not a good thing in these. I have used tomatoes in there before and they kind of separated and never really set up very well. So highly recommend you don't use like tomatoes in these. And again, your pressure cooker may vary, so you may end up needing to adjust your cooking time and your settings and stuff differently than mine. But just play around with the recipes. I feel like the possibilities are endless with these, and they do taste amazing. And like I said, I'll be pairing these with some protein waffles. Now, if you don't have a pressure cooker, in the description box, I will have the recipe down below with how you make it in the oven. Next up, we're going to make just a simple chicken salad. I'll be having these also for lunch this week. So we need some shredded chicken, and we need some green onion, red onion, dill relish. I'm going to be using some of this dip, this cauliflower-based, plant-based dip. It is so good. I'm going to be using that in my chicken salad along with some plain non-fat Greek yogurt, and of course, my favorite seasoning, the blend from Kinder's. So I like to use like these kind of dips and stuff in my chicken salads. It just adds so much flavor to them. And I don't know, just so try to, if you have any dips in your refrigerator or any like seasoning packets, like put them in your chicken salad. It really helps like, flavor it up a lot. So that's what I do all the time as I try to, come up with different ways. But I love this plant-based dip. I got it from Kroger. It's a Simple Truth brand. I use it for my vegetables and stuff too, but it makes great like sauce for this. So there's my chicken salad. Again, I like kind of change this recipe, just whatever I'm in the mood for, but this one is going to be really good with either with like cucumber chips or just on a sandwich thin or in a wrap or something like that. So that's how we'll be having this. So you guys check out my daily videos next week and you'll see how all these meals come together. And I'll see you guys in the next one. Check out the description box for all those recipes and any links to any of the gadgets that I'm showing. And I'll see you guys in the next video. Bye guys.